Hey guys, Jim here with Redo Banshee Parts and Accessories. We're back again to take a look at how to pull off the flywheel correctly without damaging it. All right, so a couple things you're going to need. I like to use an impact gun for this nut right here. It allows you to be able to get the nut off without having to hold the flywheel. They do make a special tool to hold the flywheel if you do not have an impact. I probably have it around here somewhere, but I always just use an impact, okay? And then the other thing that you are gonna wanna have, do yourself a favor, guys, buy yourself a $12 flywheel puller. You can get them online, eBay, you can get them at a motorcycle shop, anything like that. Do yourself a favor, buy the correct tool. Do not use a gear puller, do not use a 3-jaw puller. You're gonna damage the flywheel, you're gonna damage the stator underneath there, so use the correct tool, all right? So we're going to run through just popping this flywheel off real quick. With an impact, it usually comes right off. All right. Now, there could be some gunk inside here. There could be some rust inside here. I like to use a little bit of WD on my tool here and throw a little inside here. All right. Now, these tools, remember, guys, when you thread this tool in, it is backwards threads. You should be able to thread this in by hand several turns unless it's really rusty. If it's really rusty, then get a wrench and well, this is good enough. Anyways, if it's really rusty, guys, get a wrench and turn this in as far as you can. It needs to go in probably a good, 6 to 10 threads at least. It needs to go in as far as you can so that it grips that flywheel and pulls it off good. I've got this one in good enough because I've had this flywheel on and off before. So if it's really a pain, get some more WD on there and work this tool back and forth. And if it really won't go in very many threads, sometimes you got to go in there with like a pick or a dental pick or a wire brush of some sort. And you got to clean those threads out in there, but you want to make sure that this goes in a good 6 to 10, 8, 10 threads, or 12 even. It's got to go in quite a few threads to make sure that it'll stay in that flywheel when you put the air to it here. So, all right. Now, this is normal. This is actual normal threads. So we're gonna pop this flywheel off. All right, it should just come right off, just like that. All right. Now, one thing. Sometimes these don't just come right off like that with air. Sometimes they're really stuck on there, guys. And so one little trick you can do is if you've really put the pressure to it and you've got it really good and tight, you can sometimes do not do this hard. You can take a hammer and just give it a light couple little taps, just a little bit of vibration, a couple little taps like that. And sometimes that'll just be enough to vibrate that right off that shaft. Don't take a 20-pound sledge and don't really go after it because you can bend the end of your crank snout off that way. But if you have to, if this won't come off with air, just give it a few little light taps like that and it'll usually pop that thing right loose. So, once we get the flywheel off, you want to inspect it. You want to make sure that you get the keyway out. A little screwdriver here, get the keyway out so you don't lose it like I just did. All right, get your keyway out. Take a look at your keyway. Make sure it's not broken. Make sure it's not all grooved up. This one looks pretty good. And then I just throw it right in there like that because this is a big old magnet and it'll hang on to it for me. So then you can go through and you can just inspect your stator. Make sure you don't have any wires that are bare. Make sure everything's looking good on there. This one looks pretty good. Yeah, so there we go, guys. That's how you pull the flywheel off correctly without a gear puller or a 3-jaw puller. So do yourself a favor, get you that tool online. They're 12 bucks. All right, till next time.